So the Nintendo Direct came and went, and truth be told, at first I was like, ew. But then all of a sudden, right around the time that they start talking about the GBA titles, and that's when it happened. The Direct became one of the best Directs, if not the best Direct of all time. Or at least in recent memory. And speaking of GBA, not only was one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games mentioned, but not mentioned, floating around in the back all inconspicuously. And the game I'm talking about is Golden Sun. I don't even want to discuss how long I've been crying and advocating for Isaac to be in Smash. And another GBA game, one of the most underrated Zeldas out there, Minish Cap is back, but we gonna get into Zelda later, I promise. And then there was Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which is actually a really clever play on words. One of my all-time favorite Game Boy Advance games, all suited and booted for the modern era. And did you see my baby Sammy? She out here looking good. And finally, it releases on 4/21 this year, not next year. Hopefully. And then there was Tears of the Kingdom. So I was this many days old when I realized Link had a prosthetic arm. I don't know how I could miss that, but they got my mans out here looking like Link the Stampede, and I love it. From this new trailer, him trying to rescue Zelda looks like that's how he lost his arm. And from the looks and from word on the web, temples are back. Ganon's going through another transformation, and we can ride, float, and fly on vehicles. I know that we're gonna have the Full Metal Alchemist style items just to get, which I'm not complaining. The game looks amazing, but I'm that dude. I'm gonna say it again. With the actions we just seen with Zelda, it looks like she's just gonna be the damsel in distress and the catalyst of the story. Again, I still want more from the story and from her. Like everybody else, I haven't got my hands on the story or the premise yet, but for the most part, it seems again like it's an infamous on world and gameplay, which ain't bad, but I just was really hoping to see a new dimension to, Zelda. The game's gonna be great, and we already know it's gonna be a Game of the Year contender, and Nintendo ain't slick. That's why, one of the reasons I feel that they didn't drop it last year. Game drops soon, this May, and I'm sure we're gonna have a full Direct before then. Baiten Katos is back in full HD glory, kinda? Let's hope the best for this game, because some remakes don't be remastered right. And I haven't gotten the chance to play this game. I owned it years and years ago, but unfortunately, it got stolen before I actually got a chance to really play it. And then when I went to eBay, them eBay prices, I'm happy that I can finally play it. Does anybody remember if they said it's gonna be physical or not? And see, Metroid Prime did show up at this Direct, but not in the way most of everybody wanted. Metroid Prime is back, but the GameCube re-releases. I'm not a huge FPS fan. Actually, I really only messes with that triple OG Halo, but I had Prime 1 and 2 for GameCube, and with the physical release coming shortly after this one, the digital, I'm gonna definitely pick it up and maybe even archive it. I wonder if it's the precursor for the next Direct. I wish, which, look, I know it's not gonna happen, that they do some kind of third or first person, optional thing, and then you can roll up in the ball kind of aspect in the new Prime or whatever title they gonna call it, in like an open world mechanic. I mean, could you imagine? The woman's already in space, so that's the backdrop, and she's a bounty hunter, and if Link can play in an open world, why can't the First Lady of Nintendo do it? Demos, and demos. Did I mention there was a lot of demos, and more demos? Not only the ones that dropped yesterday, but so many more that are coming out that I can't name them all here on this video, or it'll be a 20-minute damn video. It's not surprising that the demo that I'm most excited about is the one that dropped yesterday, right after the Direct, and that's that Octopath Traveler 2. The demo for the first one not only ushered in that new 2D HD glorious art style, it also hyped me up for the original game back yesteryear. And with all these games increasing to $70, Tears of the Kingdom, demos are a must. A lot of my game decisions last year were based off of which games had the best demo, or which demo was the best from that game that I was thinking I wanted to get. Last year, Square Enix just alone dropped like 5 games all at once. And speaking of Square Enix, shout out to Square Enix, because they've been showing up and showing out, especially when it comes to their demos. Got me feeling all 90s PlayStation Jump and magazine nostalgia. But what really stole the show for me was that Xenoblade 3 Wave 3 DLC. Wait, was that my Fei Fong Wong from Xenogears out here kicking it with the homie Alvis Rex choking them boys? Is Monolith Soft connecting the entire Xeno lines like it was prophesized years ago? Oh Lord. Gears is one of my all-time favorite games. So I'm stoked just to even say the name Gears. Xenogears, say it again. And I'm sorry, I've been hearing a lot of crying about spoilers and, you know, people saying they put too much in the demos. What if you didn't play 2, 1, or 3? Well, look, the game's been out for a minute. HD of 1 dropped a couple years ago. Xenoblade 2's been out since 2017. And 3 has been out almost a year now. What was it, in May? Along with the plot twist portion of the DLC, which I've always been wondering what the hell happened to Alvis. Did I call him Alvin? Alvis? Alvin! We do get a new waifu who, of course, is going to have her own job class and weapons and, you know, certified stats. The DLC drops on the 15th of this month, right after the Day of Lovers. So, ladies, look, you had your day on the 14th. Now it's our day, the Day of Blade. But interweb, that's all I got for you today. There was so many other titles that did catch my eye, like that detective one and the cop one where you're driving around, and the Professor Layton, Pikmin 4, Mega Man Battle Network, and so much more. They packed a lot in 40 minutes, and to fully unpack the entire Direct, it will take 40 minutes plus just to discuss. But let me know, interweb, did you enjoy the Direct? Was it the best you ever seen? And if it wasn't, then which was the best you ever seen? And if you did like this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It's free 99. It only takes like 1 to 2 seconds. It helps out a lot, and it lets YouTube know that, well, you like the video, and then what they do in turn is push it out there for more people to see. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all things A, J, and RPGs, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I make RPG content here on the channel all the time. And as always in the web, remember to eat, sleep, geek, repeat. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. For the longest time, I wasn't being legit or for real with myself either, because that was a part of me. And even though I was doing it in secret. And then it just hit me. And that's when it hit me. And that's when I became a geek. Finally, the sleeper has awakened. I am the prince of all geeks once again.